side of the road for day to break so we could go down into Los Angeles with dirty hands and worn out knees. The ranger came with the burning eyes, the chambermaid awoke surprised, thought she'd seen the last of him. She shook her head and let him in. Ooh, I keep crawling back to you. Ooh, I keep crawling back. Hey baby, there's something in your eyes trying to say to me that I'm gonna be alright if I believe in you. It's all I wanna do. It was me and my sidekick. He was drunk and I was sick. We were caught up in a barroom fight till the native men shut out the lights. I'm so tired of being tired. Sure as night will follow day. Most things that I worry about never happen anyway. Ooh, I keep crawling back to you. Ooh, I keep crawling back. Ooh, I keep crawling back to you. I keep crawling back. Ooh, I keep crawling back to you. Ooh, I keep crawling back.
So I hope you enjoyed that. It's absolutely amazing to have kind of a little all-star cast there, because we had, of course, the amazing McKail Seeley on vocals, Blair Sinta on drums, who's absolutely phenomenal and has been in many of our videos. I got to have fun and play some guitar and bass. McKail also played acoustic. But thanks ever so much to the great Steve Majora, who is playing piano on it, singing some backgrounds, and his wonderful girlfriend. If you don't mind me busting you, his girlfriend, Kim Melville, who's an awesome singer and great rock guitar player in her own right as well, who's actually from Paris, who was in last week when we did this. So I've got to be honest, I really, really like this mic. First of all, it's substantial. It feels like a U-47. It feels like a proper built Neumann quality microphone. There's a lot of inexpensive microphones out there which come close to the sound, but not many of them give me the sound, but also give me the build quality. This thing is built like a proverbial brick, you know what. I also feel like in the neutral position, it sounds like an 87 to me. I don't know what 87s are these days, but I think they're over $2,000. Maybe Eric in the background could be looking it up while we're doing it. Really, really great shock mount. The three positions are wonderful. I'm going to go through them now. We're going to listen to each one individually and talk about it. Of course, as ever, you can download the multi-tracks. We spent some time doing this. We recorded the song 3 times with 3 different settings. It's got a plus 10 dB and a minus 10 dB. It's cardioid, omni, or figure of 8. All the things that I want. So that's fantastic. And then it has these 3 settings. And these 3 settings are G for gentle, which has supposedly like a little low end bump to it, a bit of warmth. I hate that word, but I just used it. Oh, well, I did it. N for neutral and F for forward. And I think from what I was looking at on the site, the forward means high mids, high end, a little tiny bit brighter without being harsh, it says. However, my gut is, while we were tracking, I may change my mind when we go in and solo it all, but the forward felt like it did everything for me. It felt like it wasn't just enhancing the high mids and the high end. It was actually kind of giving it a little bit of oomph in the lows as well. So why don't we just sort of listen to things individually? First of all, the 3 mics, 3 of these microphones on the drum kit, I think is absolutely superb. I didn't do full Glyn Johns because I don't do the low Glyn Johns thing on the floor tom. I like it a little higher. I've experimented over the years. You'll see on the recording of Blair's drums, the way I have the mic set up is a little higher coming down facing the snare drum. To me, that just sounds the best. Any EQ or compression I've done to this is the same on every track. So the differences are just the microphones. So let's go in and listen to the drums, say, on the bridge section. So we're going to start with the N setting, which is the neutral setting. I mean, sounds wonderful. So that's the neutral. That to me sounds like 3 87s on a drum kit. I have 4 87s, so I know what 87s sound like on a drum kit. Very, very familiar sound to me. Great sound. Okay, let's go to the gentle. Maybe a little bit softer, not quite as bright, maybe. Let's go back to the neutral again. Yeah, if you listen to the ride on the left-hand side. Now let's listen to the ride on the left-hand side again. Definitely not as pronounced. Definitely not as pronounced. Okay, but let's go to the F. This is the forward setting. I don't know. Yes, I can hear that additional high mid. It's pretty evident. I can hear it. It's really different. But with that 3 mic on the kit, without any close mic on the snare, it really brought the snare forward. I don't know. It just sounds freaking awesome to me. Without making the ride too bright, the kick still has loads of low end. Right, let's concentrate on the kick and go back to the gentle position. I mean, it's dramatically different. That's a great setting. And let's go to the neutral. This is what Blair told me he prefers. He prefers the neutral setting. I think with the neutral setting, you could probably brighten it just a little bit more if necessary, add a little bit more oomph to the low end on the kick, but I don't know. That forward sounds pretty frickin' awesome to me. I mean, the low end is huge on that kick. So talking about the drums, let's go over to Blair, who's actually going to tell us how he records drums using Lauten mics.
This is my Atlantis. I keep it a mono overhead position usually. It's an amazing mic. I like it in this position because it captures a excellent picture of the kit sonically. Lots of low end, lots of beautiful low mids, and clean high end, clear picture of the high end. So if I need just a one mic sound, it's a great position, and this is the mic that I would go to for that. Another great reason to have it in this position is the the sonic changes. So if I need a more rock, kind of aggressive, super clear sound, I'm going to the forward position. If I need almost a ribbony sound, I'm going to the G position. And it's much softer. But typically I keep it in the neutral position, and it blends well with everything. But those sonic changes that you can get just with that flip of the switch is amazing in this mic. It's my favorite thing. I don't own a single other mic that does something like that. So, yep, Atlantis, mono overhead, love it. Single mic. If you need a single mic for some drums, that's the one. All right. And I will say one other thing. The mic clip that it comes with is excellent. I've had plenty of nice mics with crappy mic clips. So this thing, super solid.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to the whole track in the forward. So let's go to when the drums come in on that first verse.
The ranger came with the burning eyes. The chambermaid looked surprised.
McKail's voice is fantastic.
She'd seen the last of him. She shook her head and let him in. Ooh, I keep.
I mean, as you can see, there's zero compression or EQ on any of this. So we went from the forward, and now we're going to the gentle.
The ranger came with the burning eyes.
It's pretty sweet.
The chambermaid looked surprised.
It's gentle. Definitely doesn't have that aggressive. The forward setting almost feels like it's got a parallel compressor on it, something, doesn't it? It just feels like, I gotta be honest, I love it.
The ranger came with the burning
It's forward. It's a really good choice of word to describe it. Not only can you download these multi-tracks and compare, obviously, the whole thing, you can mix it how you want to hear it. You can maybe take certain elements that you think would be better for the bass, certain elements that would be better for the guitars, and do your own mix.
The ranger came with the burning eyes. The chambermaid awoke surprised. Thought she'd seen the last of him. She shook her.
I like that. It's weird because the forward has supposedly the high mids and the high end boost, but I'm hearing more like de-essing I might want to do on the vocal on the neutral. Let's go back to the forward.
The ranger came with the burning eyes. The chambermaid awoke surprised.
There's a little bit of maybe a tiny bit, but compared with the neutral, that's got a little bit more de-essing. This has got more of the kind of a mid-range, which I kind of like, to be honest. I did a video with Mark recently where we were listening to some of our favorite songs from the last year, and one of the Adele singles, a beautiful, beautiful stuff that she does, is very like aggressively mixed with a little bit of saturation and a bit of attack in the vocal, and I love the vocal sound. And it has that which kind of makes it jump out of the mix. So let's go and listen to individual elements again. So here's the acoustic, and we're currently set to the F position, the forward position. Now I have put some compression on this, but it's going to be the same compression on each one. And it's set specifically so that the difference between the picking part and the rhythm part is negligible. So you hear. Okay, so let's go to the neutral. That's the forward. It's almost a little hollow to me. Like it's probably more accurate of the instrument, but the forward nature of the forward position, it sort of feels like there's a parallel compressor in there. Let's go to the gentle. Dramatic differences between all of them. Really, really super, super impressed with this microphone. And I know this is kind of a flagship mic for them. We just looked on Sweetwater and they're $1,500, which compared with an 87, which is a absolutely incredible microphone. This offers 3 completely different sounds, all of which are obviously infinitely usable. But I do like that forward sound on everything so far. Okay, here is gentle position on my electric. Okay, neutral position. That's nice. That's nice. Actually, on this electric, you hear the difference between the gentle and the regular quite easily. You hear a little bit of high mids and crunch. Go back to the gentle. See a little reduction in the little drag of the pick, which is nice, actually. The gentle on this is quite tasty. Now let's go to the forward. Okay, so now it's jumping out of the mix. You can hear those high mids, like a little exaggerated. I don't know, for me, the forward feels like what I like about the gentle, the extra fullness, combined with the high mid kind of push. That's an interesting one. I don't think that's what they designed it to be, but obviously the sources are allowing me to hear it that way. But maybe in a mix situation, you would go for the gentle because you just just that kind of smooth part. It really depends on how you want to feature the guitar. All right, I think the next most telling thing will probably be to go to the piano. Now, the piano is my upright, which I have inside of the house. Check it out. That's the forward, sounds fantastic. Here's the gentle. Definitely doesn't have that high mid push, but it's nice. It sounds gentle. And here's the neutral. Sounds like an 87. Like slightly colored. 87s are not like completely neutral. They're just slightly colored. They seem to just slightly roll off the transients like ever so much. We did a shootout comparison at Blackbird a few years ago and had a pair of 87s on a piano and then put them against a lot of other microphones. And we found some really neutral sounding mics and realized that the 87s actually do have a little bit of color. They do just round off some of those peaky little transients, which is nice. And that's what is going on here, definitely. Let's go back to the forward. I love the attack it's given the piano. The forward definitely wins for me there on the piano, because I want it to be ever so slightly brighter, so I don't have to EQ it in the mix. Okay, here is the wonderful McKail lead vocal.
The ranger came with the burning eyes. The chambermaid awoke surprise. Thought she'd seen the last of him. She shook her head and let him in.
It's a wonderful song by Tom Petty. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, I'm going to go straight to the neutral from the forward.
The ranger came with the burning eyes. The chambermaid awoke surprise. Thought she'd seen the last of him. She shook her head and let him in.
That's pretty tasty as well in isolation. I hear the S's a little bit more exaggerated, only ever so slightly though. I think that the high mids that are being pushed on the forwards actually really helps that. All right, let's go to the gentle.
The ranger came with the burning eyes. The chambermaid.
To me, that sounds like a classic tube mic. Like that's closer to my 47. I know it's not a tube mic at all, but what I like about that is I feel like I could apply EQ to it. Quite often when I get something that isn't too harsh, doesn't have S-ing issues or whatever, I like that because then I can brighten it up and sit it in the mix without it suddenly taking your head off. So the gentle setting works really well. That could be a good alternative for vocals. I did like the forward again though, but the gentle setting I think would take EQ really, really well. 3 mics in one. 3 very distinct mics. And I talked to the good fellows over at Lauten, and this isn't like a trick. It's not an EQ trick. It's different circuitries, which is probably why it weighs a schnizzle ton, why it feels like a really substantial mic or not just some cheap, thing that they've manufactured. This is a really, really well-built, amazing sounding mic. I've got to be honest, I love this, and at $1,500, this is a very, very serious microphone for you. If you want something that's going to be amazing in your arsenal that could work with all different kinds of singers and different sound sources, I really think it delivers. I mean, we've done piano, bass, drums, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, background vocals, lead vocals, and you're really going to be able to get to mix this and choose how you want it to work and see what sounds better, the fact that you can compare all 3 settings. Plus, of course, what's wonderful about this is you can enter to win one of these microphones. They've given us one to give away. Thank you very much, Lauten. So please enter down below. And don't forget to download the multitracks. Make up your mind for yourself, but I can humbly say I do not doubt in a million years that you'll ever be disappointed. I think you'll love this. I think you'll absolutely love this mic. This could be a wonderful alternative for somebody that doesn't quite have that extra $1,000 to get an 87. What is an 87? Did you look it up? Don't get me wrong. I love 87s. We have 4. Okay, so currently on Sweetwater, U87s are $3,295, and we love those microphones. But this currently is $1,499, and it has 3 different settings for cardioid patterns. It has a figure of 8, a cardioid, and an omni. It has 3 completely different circuits, giving it 3 completely different microphone sounds. And of course, it has a -10 dB pad and a +10 if you're actually dealing with a sound source that is too quiet. It's got a great shock mount on it. It's substantially built. And I think this is a pretty sound investment. If you're in that situation where you want to go to the next level and you want a microphone that gives you the feeling of an 87, but also with options, I think this is a great example of one. Wonderful work, Lauten. Wonderful, wonderful work. And as you've probably heard me say before, the biggest fan of this microphone and gets used on all of the records that he engineers and produces is our good friend Daryl Thorpe, Mr. 9 Grammys, when he records all of his records and he brings his Lauten mics and he uses them all the time. So there's been a schnizzle ton of records that you know and love that have been recorded with this mic and many others. We did a session with Daryl about 3 or 4 years ago at Sunset Sound, and you can download the multitracks to that. I'm sure one of the guys will put a link to that as well. But download these multitracks. Definitely try out this mic. For real. At $1,500, its biggest competitor is $3,300. Really, really nice work. And I love microphones, don't get me wrong, you know I do. And there's a couple of really wonderful ones, but in this price point, it might well dominate. Wonderful work, Lauten. Please click the link down below and enter to win. Click the link to go and see if you want to buy one of these lovely microphones. And of course, download the multitrack so you can hear for yourself. But my humbly will say that I don't think you're going to be disappointed with this mic at all. We got to try it out one other time and we only had it on a neutral setting and it still was the best mic then. But the forward, pretty darn lovely. And that gentle has a place as well. But if you just want an 87 sounding microphone that's built to a level of an 87, this is the way to go. Then think about the fact that you're going to throw in a couple of other incredible settings, one of which I think is phenomenal. Down below, you'll see a link to enter to win. Check out the link to purchase it if you want to buy the said microphone. And so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, adios. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, adios. Goodbye.